mic on. Let me pull this up. You was about to click on the Google Chrome again.
Don't use the Chrome again.
Man, this guy, Microsoft Edge. What's going on to the fam? If you can hear us, we making sure we set up for you guys, man.
We live. I get that notification. I know what's going down.
It's going down. We in the club. You know what's going down. Yes, sir. You guys already know, man. Well, look. It's your boy Official Go Getter. It's your boy Flash, man. Welcome to the Full Circle. Well, I almost said podcast, man. You can call it what you want, but hey, this is the Full Circle Wealth live stream Wealth Wednesdays right here. Man, we're going to be talking about the stock market. We're going to be talking about the crypto market. We're going to be talking about 2026 and how to improve your life, because that's what we do around here. So look, man, first and foremost, how are you feeling today, my boy?
Shit, it's Wednesday, man. What's the second Wednesday of January, man? I'm telling you right now, I'm feeling it, man.
Yeah.
It's a good time to be alive, too, man. The market's just pumping. Everything is, our dollar's devaluing, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of shit going on within the market, man. I'm happy to be a part of that, making history and things like that. I can say when I'm 50 years old, I'm going to be like, hey, man, I remember when gold hit $6K. I remember when silver hit $200 for the ounce. And so,
yeah, because we are at $92 with a high of 95 for silver today, man.
Yeah, man.
Or we're 92. So I saw that earlier. 92.
Every day we making new
making new all-time high. Have you seen any of the videos of the people going to the thrift shop and getting silver?
Yeah, I think we need to be those people.
We need to be those. We need to go see what's up with one of those thrift shops and see about silver. Before you pulled up, I ended up coming across a video of this dude. He ended up finding sterling silver utensils.
Oh yeah, no, I did see that. I thought you was talking about he bought silver. Yeah, I did see that play.
Yeah, we ended up seeing that, and then another dude I seen, he found some type of silver something, but I think it was like a teapot, whatever the case may have been, but it was like 90 something grams of silver. And he went to the house, crushed it up, cleaned it off, and 92 grams of silver, that's equivalent to like $256 it looked like. So silver is moving, man. This is the first time where I've actually paid attention to this asset, right? I've never really looked at silver prior to this year or known really much about it, so it's dope to see these assets moving the way they have been moving, man. So silver's making new all-time highs. You got the SPY, S&P 500, like I said, we trying to get to that $700 target. Last week we was moving, inching up to that I think we was at like 695 last week, but we rejected off that weekly high. And now we're back at that 690, 689. So we're playing in this range. So let's go see what's going to happen with SPY. You either get this bounce off of this support that I just saw, that we just hit, and continue back to the upside, or hey, we go back to that downside and wherever the case may be. But I truly think we get this bounce off support and go back up to the upside, man. That's it for the SPY breakdown, man. What you got to say about Bitcoin, my boy?
Bitcoin, man, but within a few days, we broke this level of the mini range that we were in, and we came back and kind of touched it again. Mm-hmm. Or we kind of stayed there, but we came back, 4 hours ago daily. We had touched this level here, right? We bounced off the 90K, went through it, came and touched that mini range resistance.
Yeah.
Your resistance, came down, touched that level again, and just broke past it now. So what I'm thinking for Bitcoin is if we can hold above about 93. Whoa. We had 97.
We had 97.
Let me see my phone real quick. Let me see this. I had the chart, and what I was looking at this morning, it was not this. Hold up real quick. Because I had the game plan ready for what I was going to talk about and everything, and that's crazy. We broke above. So,
we broke above, man.
We broke above this range, and I had a level at around 94K, and I was saying that if we had stayed above, like about right here at the top of this wick, if we had broke above right here where this candle opened, then we were kind of flipping the switch of going from staying where we are and stagnant to. I mean, I'm gonna do orange because there's another one.
You can just pull that other white one up.
You're right. See,
Shout
out, Fisher Go Getter, working smarter, not harder, man. Oh,
you about to delete the white one? Oh, but you can just leave it orange. Yeah, no, I see you now. I see you.
Because it broke above. You see?
Yep, I see you now.
That's the point I was trying to make.
Yeah.
But nah, yeah, man. Bitcoin sitting at 97,000 per token. It's getting crazy out here. I did want to show real quick the rest of the market, because it's about to be that time for them alt seasons, man. This is growing right here. Just a couple days ago, it was at 35, around in the middle of this, and we're having a lot of there's a lot of adoption coming towards the crypto market. We're sitting at 3.2 trillion, right? And we've obviously been here before, but it's a lot of liquidity, and yeah, there's a lot of liquidity coming into the crypto market, man. There are a lot of things happening in the crypto world. You know, quick fact, South Korea, there was a ban on crypto. They didn't allow them to trade crypto for 9 years. 9-year ban.
Yeah.
And they just got back into crypto. And so as soon as that ban was lifted, they started buying heavy into XRP. And actually, South Korea was one of the reasons why XRP hit that high of like 370 or something like that before. And so it's been 9 years, like I said, since they've been able to get into that crypto space. And they said ultimately that they would be in a disadvantage compared to the rest of the world when it came to digital assets and tokenization, because it's banned, right? So we gotta lift that ban, flooding the markets. And so I'm not saying that this is what is a thing that is what's going on with Bitcoin necessarily, but overall the market, we got a lot of money flowing in.
More money is coming into the crypto market.
Absolutely.
And when you said, so explain the difference between an altcoin and something like a Bitcoin, because altcoins are different than Bitcoin and Ethereum, right?
Yeah.
So
actually, Ethereum's an altcoin too.
Break that. What is an altcoin?
An altcoin is ultimately, Bitcoin is the one.
Yeah.
Bitcoin is not an altcoin, right? But XRP, Ethereum, Solana, those are all altcoins because they aren't let's call it the originator.
Yeah.
Right? They're not the big brother. Bitcoin is the big brother. When say if you were to go look at somebody who's breaking down the chart, and usually they would be breaking down the market cap and Bitcoin dominance of the market cap, right? So when Bitcoin is like 60% of the 65, 70% of the coin market cap dominance, then the altcoins are like 30, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That tends to flip, right? And altcoins they start being more dominant than Bitcoin because there's more money flowing into those. And so the difference ultimately is that Bitcoin, how I see it, how I internalized it, was Bitcoin doesn't have as much as utility as these other ones, and so that is why they call them altcoins. And that is what I've got my understanding, and I think some people may have a different understanding than I do, but that's how I see it.
Yeah, no,
that's how I understand.
That's a solid breakdown, and that makes sense. You know, so
alternative.
Alternative coins, and back to what you said. You know, so the alternative coins have their different cycle than Bitcoin does. Like, kind of moves different than Bitcoin. So. Yep. Okay, so we gonna get those moves on those alternative coins coming soon. So that, like you talk about Flare and H-Bar, those are gonna get those moment, right? Yes. So get you those altcoins at the dip. You know, Bitcoin, like you said, that's the number one, So real quick, before we move on, you know, how would you suggest somebody, when it comes down to focusing on Bitcoin versus altcoins, like how would you suggest somebody would go about that focus?
So that I'm glad that you asked that, because one of my things is Bitcoin is a late game to me. Remember I was telling you this off the camera a couple months ago, the fact that Bitcoin is a store of value, right? So that's where you put your money when you got the big bucks, honestly. But the real money is in the altcoins. I'm not saying that Bitcoin cannot make you money if you have $10,000 to play with inside and put into this risky market, right? Then that's one thing, in 10,000 plus, right? But if you have, let's say, 5,000, just half of that, $5,000, your return on investment will be a lot greater if you played with altcoins rather than Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is the controller of the market, but the altcoins are like yes, Bitcoin is like the decision maker, kind of. You know what I'm saying? You see this entire scale is based off of Bitcoin and then altcoins, right? And so we're kind of getting to the, I say like 1/4 to the altcoin season. Ultimately, that is what I do. I'm not what I'm invested in is not Bitcoin. I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't have any Bitcoin. I have a lot of altcoins though. You know what I'm saying? And I have, that's what the focus is on, right? And so kind of what we was talking about yesterday too, like switching that up and getting to point where we're talking about specific companies and specific things outside of what we do usually.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna looking forward to getting into, because that is what I mainly specialize in. You know?
Yeah, those altcoins.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So
recognizing what the utility is within an altcoin and, you know, making a decision if it's worthy or not of my time.
Yeah, man, you guys heard it here first. You know, the difference between the altcoins and, you know, Bitcoin. And then also, Flash got the breakdown in the crypto section of our Discord, right? So you can go through that crypto section and go get a full understanding of Web3, altcoins, crypto, anything that I may be missing, man. What am I missing, man?
All of them, tokenomics, you know, let's look real quick. Also, if you want to know about the stocks, you know what I'm saying, official go-getter, this is your man right here. He got the game with the plan with the man with the plan. Sorry, I didn't mean to expose all the business right there.
No, I don't even know what business it was.
Me either.
That's all good.
Yeah, we got you know what I'm saying, just like official go-getter said, man, we got technical analysis, man. We got the Meta breakdown, we got the Amazon breakdown, we got the Microsoft breakdowns, right? And this is all in a technical analysis channel, right? Crypto 101 is exactly where you were just saying right there, where you learn about the cryptos, you learn about security, you learn about things like that. Stocks 101, you learn about, first of all, we got a fresh video that just dropped on Monday. Your boy Official Go-Getter right here, killing the game, man.
Yeah, man, if you guys want to go learn how to read the chart, learn how to actually navigate the markets in the chart so you can read it yourself to make the money, man, go watch these videos. Go look at the technical analysis, man. Go look at everything we have to offer in the Discord, man. We are sure that you're not going to leave away with nothing. You're going to leave with something.
Right.
You know, like it has right there. Actually, you can't even read it from here. Go into the Discord and read the stocks that I have at buy opportunities, man. They're at good buy opportunities. Actually, let's just roll right into that. I'm gonna pull up those charts real quick.
Right here?
I'm gonna pull up the first. I want us to talk about that Apple and that Google, man. I want us to talk about that Apple and that Google partnership with Siri. So Apple and Google ended up doing a partnership, right? For the Google Gemini AI to be incorporated with Siri. So right here on TradingView, this is the platform that we use to look at the charts, and it comes up with instant updates, latest updates as well. So latest news. And I want to read this a little bit. I don't know what it is. You guys don't know what it is. We're about to find out what it is. Intel has secured Apple as a customer to manufacture low-end M-series processors for MacBooks and iPads, with discussions ongoing to support low-end A-series processors for iPhones by 2029, right? So that's a good one right there. You know, Intel has been like they're a US based tech company that kind of like fell off years ago, right? They're not really,
I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, bro.
Intel is in everything, brother.
Or maybe I'm mistaking it with BMI, right? BMI fell off, right?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
The BMI fell off. But Intel ain't even the same no more. I'm still saying that.
What, you mean IBM?
IBM, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
IBM, right? So maybe I was mistaken Intel for IBM, but I'm still standing on it, man. Intel ain't the same as the new chips, right? I got an Intel chip in my thing right now, but it don't even move like the H1 chips that MacBook has, right? So Intel being able to partner with Apple, right, is dope to see, because you have the competitors working together, right? So Intel came through and they say, as a customer to manufacture low-end M-series processors for MacBooks and iPads. So there's still space for Intel in that world, right? You know, I just got to thinking I went straight to fall off because MacBook's H1 chip is so M1 chip. My apologies, that M1 chip, because you got the Pro, and that chip compared to anything Intel, the Intel i8 processor that they used to use prior, is way more efficient, right? So on top of that, Apple launched a subscription bundle, Apple Creator Studio, featuring Final Cut Pro, Logic Pro, and Pixelmator Pro for Mac, iPad, iPhone, emphasizing studio grade tools and user privacy. So look, Apple was making some moves, man. Those are some good moves, right? I want you to talk about that a little bit. Both of those things, man.
Yeah. So for starters, I wanted to see what low-end A series processors are for starters, because I know that with these computer companies, it wasn't low end, was it? Did he say low end? Low end M series. Oh, okay. No. And discussions in going to support low end A series. Yeah, because what is that, right? Low end A series.
I think the A series. I'm just saying something just for the sake. I think that has to do with the phones.
Okay.
Because I know that we have like that type of chip in our that type of processor which processes our phone.
And so I was also wanted to talk about this too. There's other companies as well that would have to hear about this too, because in my PC at home, I use Ryzen, AMD. I use Ryzen, and I know that Intel and Ryzen or AMD are competitors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so with Intel partnering up with Apple, there's some things unfolding right then and there, right?
Yeah.
And then as well as the creator studio, what that means for creators, right? Like and how big that is for it to be on TradingView, right? It sounds like a market that's opening up for.
Yeah.
That wasn't, let's say the market wasn't all the way cultivated, right? And so now they're putting their attention onto this type of.
Yeah, because you know traders don't really. This is the only time somebody's gonna think about a creating studio or these type of platforms.
Yeah.
Programs, applications, I should say, man, all over the place, man. But when it comes down to Final Cut Pro, that's a top tier app for editing videos, right? When it comes down to Logic Pro, that's a top tier app for recording vocals, recording music, right? Pixelmator Pro for Mac, iPad, iPhones. I don't know much about that. I don't know anything about what Pixelmator does. Maybe we can look it up real quick. But saying this to say, Apple is coming out with bundles to make it more affordable for your creators to own these products, because, man, these products can get expensive, man. The Final Cut Pro, I know that's a couple $100. So is Logic, about a couple $100, right? So I want to just see what Pixelmator does real quick, just so we can see what Apple has to offer. Pixelmator. Pixelmator Pro is an image editor designed to make the most powerful professional image tools.
Is this what this is sounding like? Is we are finally incorporating AI into it? Because Intel is they work with processor, right? Ultimately, it's processing. It's the mind of the computer.
Yeah.
So with the mind of the computer getting stronger, also branding into something as big as Apple, it's like, what? Yeah, because what is the point of them getting together? Is I'm trying to figure out the alternative.
On top of what you said, because that's a good point as well. You know, taking these chips and these processors to make it more just able to process better for the devices. On top of that, I think the reasoning for partnering, another reason could be just the fact that Intel is still able to help make Apple products that are still able to cater to like the low end customer, right? I don't know if I want to use low end as a word, but like their devices are getting real expensive. So
and let me say something about that too. Do you think that's about tariffs? Because Intel is US based, right?
Yeah, they are.
So with that being said, Apple doesn't have to go and venture out and go to Cambodia, right? They don't have to go to Thailand and go get wherever their pieces of the hardware are from if it's US based, because those tariffs are expensive. It's 25
and
whatever.
That's a good point too. You know, at the beginning of 2025, Trump did say he wanted he wanted them companies to stop working outside the country and start producing here, and this saves them that money, right? So this also saves them that money when it comes down to tariffs, because now they can still save us money as customers, right? So we don't have to get hit with those tariffs markups. And then it helps them still have options for their consumers to be able to buy products that aren't as expensive as the other higher quality ones, but you still get low end M series processors.
Yeah.
Right. You may not get that M series chip that you have in your MacBook, right? But I might be able to still have an M series, but it may not be able to be as quality as yours. But I'm still up in there with you.
And my thing is too, like with them being able to save money on the tariffs, right? They're gonna be able to save money, just like you said. But will that be a benefit to retail? Because if they're able to save money, then their profits are not going to change at that point. They're not dipping into their budget of spending so it might even cost the same. What I'm saying is it might cost the same and not like cheaper for us because they're not losing money.
Oh yeah,
with the tariffs.
Yeah, and I think and that's what I was implying. Like I think that's a good thing for us. You know, I don't think it'll get cheaper. I feel you. It's gonna stay the same because you know them tariffs was gonna
rip everybody.
You know what I'm saying? It was gonna take a $1,000 iPhone to 1,800, 1,700, right? So,
easily.
With that being said, this keeps things leveled for us as consumers, right? We still are able to go see an Apple MacBook costs $2,000, right, instead of $4,500. You know, so shout out to Intel, shout out to Apple, man. Shout out to Apple and Google. I want to just point out this chart real quick. If you guys are looking with me, we're on the Apple chart. We're on the daily time frame. We have these support circled right here. So when we get to these levels, man, we get a bounce up. And this last time that we got to this level, right, I posted it into the Discord. We get here, right, and we bounced right up, right? We're at 259. We ended up coming from that 255, moving up to that 260. And, you know, I think Apple's going to move up back to the upside to that 275, man. So Apple is here, man. They're near that support. I don't think they're going to get that flush and break down of support. I think they're going to move back up. I also want to talk about, you know, this is why you buy quality companies at a dip, because before, but I had put this in the Discord, and I was like, you know, Apple's at a good buy opportunity. You know, they're at this level. You know, I think they may bounce off this level. It's a possibility. Tell me why the next day I wake up and I see Google and Apple have a partnership about the Google Gemini AI.
Yeah.
Saying that to say, allegedly, I'm not about to put nothing out there, but it looked like you buy these quality companies at a dip because these companies almost cannot fail. These institutions don't want these companies to fail. They put this, the Apple gets to a high, they put it back on a buy opportunity, and as soon as this buy opportunity comes, you release the data about the partnership that causes it to go up the next day, that causes Google to hit an all-time high the next day. You know, so with that being said, man, this is why I emphasize buying the quality companies at a low, because these companies are too big to fail for our economy. If Apple goes, U.S. changes. If Google goes, U.S. changes. So kind of similar to how Flash likes to focus on utility and what this coin actually does for the economy when it comes down to cryptocurrency. Look at the utilization of the company. How is this actually adding to the economy as a company? Because if we lose the company, we lose a part of the country. And those are the companies that you want to invest in, man. So Google right here. Back to the support and resistance. Google was hitting that little support right here with a low of 297, and we bounced off of it. We was playing in this box, and we bounced off of it, and we broke out that resistance. And like we talk about, you get that breakout of resistance, you see that retest, right? Making sure you with me just so they can be with me. You see that retest, right? And what happened after that retest, Flash?
Shit, we had the retest. We shot straight up.
How many points?
How many? Do that for me real quick. What's the percent?
The percentage from
the retest.
From the retest. That's just a little not a little.
Ain't no 6.
That ain't no little. That's a 5-6%.
Yeah.
And that's a good in a few days. Yeah, it's a daily time frame. In a few days, that's a hefty amount of percent when it comes down to the stock market. Yeah. That was so last Thursday is when we retested. And then Monday we come out with that news. Mm-hmm. So boom, after the retest and Apple, so we get Apple at that support, testing that support level, news comes out. Yep. We get Google retesting that level, news comes out. Causes both of these companies just to jump, right? Saying that to say, technical analysis also matches up what's going on in the economy, because there's a reason why price is at this level. There's a reason why price is breaking from this level. There's a reason why all of the stuff, right? So
can I reword that real quick?
I
didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
The technicals match up with the fundamentals, right?
There you go.
Because you need the technicals to understand fundamentals, and you absolutely need the fundamentals to understand the technicals, right? They always go hand in hand. And so emphasizing on buying buying that dip.
Yeah, bro.
Because obviously we'll never know, right? We're retail, but having paying attention to that technical, then that fundamental comes a lot easier. And as we see, we have that retest, just like you said, man. Yeah.
Just like retest, man. Last one I want to touch on, I gotta talk about Meta just cause I gotta talk about it when it's down the same way I talk about it when it's up, y'all. Look, Meta 618, right? So we ended up breaking out of that support level. I'm going to the 15-minute time frame, man. We ended up breaking down that support level from 640, and now we're at 618. Meta is on a deep. It's moving down, man. We was playing in that range for quite some time. It looks like it's got a good support level in the hour time frame right here at that 582. If we want to get that low, at 582, hey, that's another way to pick up Meta. But right now, Meta's looking like it's moving to the downside. Meta's looking like it's in that buy opportunity range. I'm gonna keep saying that, man. I get paid tomorrow. I'm about to put that paycheck in the Meta, man, because look, you buy these companies at a dip. I'm gonna take my L if Meta don't get back to $1,000, but I know it's gonna get back to $1,000. I just feel that in my heart, right? You got analysts still putting this price target at $800 at $820. Meta's still working on AI. Meta's still working on their display glasses. Meta still owns the Facebook, the Instagram. Meta's not going anywhere, right? So when it comes down to this break below, this is just signaling opportunity for trades and investments, man, because get these companies at a low, get these companies at a dip. Meta's gonna get back to that $700, $800 range, and we're gonna be good, man. So that's how I'm looking at Meta. Even though we're moving down to the downside, I still got faith. You got anything you want to touch on Meta?
I'm not gonna lie, it looks like it's still going. There's still some drawdown coming.
There's some drawdown, yeah.
I see this, just like you said, that support level. But I feel like there's a couple, just where you had it at, right, like right about right here. That's another level of that looks like it's prominent, right, and up and coming, even further.
Yeah, there's some more low. 400. Yep, 400. So last time we was here, we was all the way at 400 April. So last time we hit that low was April, and if we get that low, that's dope as well, because you see exactly what happened when we got this low at the 400s, man. Last time we ended up coming back up and went all the way back up to 790, right? So I'm just trying to emphasize how crazy that is, right? So look, April 2025, $500, $497. But then once you bounce off that, you go back up and buy August 2025. You're at $792.
5 months.
In in 4 months, you ran it up. So when it comes down to these big companies like what Meta is, it costs a lot, but it moves a lot. It moves very volatile. It's gonna make you that money when it goes back in that uptrend, because it's gonna move like it wants to move. So look, it's stagnant for a minute right now. We ended up making that downtrend. We may need to move down for a little bit more, and that's okay, because I'm getting this at a discount, and I've been getting it at a discount. This makes me so happy, man. So look, shout out to Meta, shout out to Mark Zuckerberg. Keep doing your thing, man. And right here in December 2025, Meta also acquired Manus, right? I don't know how to pronounce it specifically, but this goes back to what I was talking about when it comes down to Meta investing in AI. They're still putting themselves in the game. In December 2025, Meta Platforms acquired Manus, a Chinese AI startup company, for over $2 billion. Manus is known for agentic AI, generating over $100 million in annual recurring revenue. Rosenblatt has maintained a buy rating for Meta Platforms and set a price target of $1,100, $1,117 a share. I'm telling you, I ain't telling you nothing actually. Full circle vote disclaimer, man. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. You guys do what you want to do.
Right.
But I know I'm investing into this company, whether it hits $400, $500, even $100, because that price target is at $1,000.
So $1,100.
And this Meta lives up here. Meta really lives up here. This is really where they be at. You know what I'm saying? At that 700 range to 800 range. This is really where Meta lives for a long time I couldn't grab this company because it was so expensive being up here, man. So I'm about to grab this company like I already have been doing. And when it hits that $1,000,
full circle well.
look, man. Now we got the inner circle. Unless you got anything you want to talk about before we move on, you want to break down some more cryptos? How you feeling?
Yeah, I do one.
Yeah,
let's,
how are you feeling?
Let me see.
Go ahead.
Let's hit that flare up.
We on the regular watch list right now.
I had talked about this in the Discord too, man.
Mm-hmm. Go check that out in the Discord.
Right here. Flare moving, man. We had a couple. We're on the daily time frame. We moving up a couple percent, right? And this is after not necessarily news, but we was up 20% from the beginning of this year. So in the last 2 weeks, it's been we did have some drawdown, but in the last 2 weeks we've been moving up, right? And so yes, I'm gonna talk about that real quick in the Discord. I had put some sauce in there about what Flare's doing. Don't mind your business. Mind your business. If you ain't in the Discord, don't look. Can't look. Join the Discord. Exactly. But this says Flare unlocks institutional grade XRP trading on Hyperliquid, right? And I did want to say, let me open up CoinMarketCap real quick, just so we know what we're looking at. Just so we know what we're looking at. And I see why you put in Google, because Bing is the I peep now.
Yeah. I ain't using Bing, but I also ain't made it to Google Chrome either. You know, only reason why I don't be using Google Chrome is just because I gotta readjust all my stuff.
Yeah, I feel you, bro. Trust. Look, Flare. We do one more time. Unlocks institutional grade XRP trading on Hyperliquid. Hyperliquid is a platform that Hyperliquid is a crypto. Remember, I'm not deep diving right now. Hyperliquid is a crypto. They're worth $26 per token. Sorry. We go to the all just about. I'm gonna say in January 20th last year, price was at $24. But before that, it was around $3. Right. So in 2024, towards the end of 2024, it was $3, right? What Flare does, this is why I talk about Flare so much, is because, first of all, it's a penny. Everybody got hella pennies laying around the crib, and if not, I know there's pennies under your seat. Flare is a penny, right? And they're allowing XRP to be 24/7 peer-to-peer traded using wrapped XRP, and that is what Flare specializes in. So they're gonna take the Flare, they're gonna take an XRP, they're gonna bridge it to the Flare. Flare's gonna wrap it with FA assets. Then you're gonna be able to trade your wrapped XRP through Hyperliquid. It's all a big chain of connections, man. I broke it down in the Discord. I'm not breaking it down here. This is a 2-minute read. It ain't gonna take you nothing but a hop, skip, and a jump to get through, right? And understanding what you're looking at. Also, Layer 02 is another crypto, not deep diving though. Yeah, just want to touch on that real quick. That's all that is. If you're in the Discord, then you know.
Yeah, that's solid. You know, because this tokenization is getting serious. You even got
for real.
The top hedge fund investors in the world. They over here talking about, you know, we are trying to get all these assets tokenized. That is the goal. Mm-hmm. We want these assets to be on a blockchain. And hey, our boy here is the one who knows all about it, man. I'll be the first to let you know, because I didn't know nothing about nothing. I didn't know what a blockchain was. I didn't know what a chain link was. I didn't know what no Flare was, no H-bar, no nothing, right? But in the crypto, he breaks it all down in a way where you can understand and digest it, man. So go into the crypto, get that understanding of the blockchain, and look, we got the inner circle for you guys now. So we're gonna start calling this segment Inner Circle, where we just you guys get to see the inside of full circle. You know what I'm saying? You get to see how we are feeling in our mind, how things are going on the back end. Such and such, such and such. We're on January 14th. So look, we're 2 weeks in, right? We've already had 2 weeks of January progress. And tell them the real about how you feel.
Yeah, man, it's 2 weeks of January. And you know, I want to say that before we really get into the inner circle, And this is really the segment. That's fire, though. And that was off the. That was that was fire. That was fire.
We trying for you guys.
Exactly.
Sorry. Forget trying.
Nah, fuck trying.
Fuck
we
trying
doing this
for real.
every
We doing
Wednesday
this.
and we coming with it, right? And you can't say that we ain't adapted and making moves. Anyway, this is so fire because not only is it called Inner Circle, right? You get to really know the characters of Inner Circle, right? Outside of all the drama and the nonsense that we have going on, man, we still take time out of our day to make sure that you're informed as well as each other, right? We make sure that we are both informed first. And making sure that what we present is presentable. So, ultimately, how I'm feeling 2 weeks in. 2 weeks in, you know, understanding that life is life, right? There's gonna be times where there's gonna be ups. There's gonna be times where we're knocking resistance and making new all-time highs, and there's gonna be some left sideways movement, right? There's always gonna be that time where we even go down and hit the support levels. But the main thing is, just like Meta, you know what I'm saying? We hit that bottom, we coming right back to the top. And I'm not saying that we hit the bottom. We ain't hitting no bottom, right? There is always going to be some sort of consolidation. And with that being said, that's all right, you know? Let that be the case. And don't ever get down on yourself about what you think that you should be doing, because I had seen something the other day, and I know this is true for the both of us, that if you're the youngest in the room, how could you even consider yourself behind? And I've always found myself in situations where I am always the youngest in the room. I mean, I'm 23 years old. Bro's finna be 23 this year. You know what I'm saying? That speaks so many volumes, because what I seen growing up was not impactful changes, I want to say. There wasn't things that impacted my life, or people necessarily that impacted my life to make me want to go get up and get better and do better. It was me who did that for me, or my mom was a great role model. But I'm saying there wasn't things in my life that changed that. And yeah, bro, us being the smallest, the youngest in the room is so powerful and strong, because it really shows others that everything is possible. Any and everything is possible. Shout out Kevin Garnett. Any and everything is possible, man. Them niggas won the NBA series, right? They won the championship, and they had all the odds stacked against them, man. And they came out with the dub, and I feel like that every day. You know what I'm saying? Especially with being the youngest in the room. So if that's the case for you, and even if not, maybe you know what I'm saying, everybody's around your age, you definitely shouldn't be talking about, you're feeling behind, because there's cats out here that's younger than you, killing the game, man. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that's out here really doing it. And so don't ever get down and discourage yourself when it comes to doing what you want to do and doing what you love to do, because this is my new passion. Ultimately, this is what I see myself doing for the next countless of years coming in, you know what I'm saying, into the future. This is what I see myself doing. And so, yeah, man, ultimately,
I feel you.
I feel it.
That was a great breakdown, great breakdown. I had seen something the other day, just because you are the youngest in the room does not mean you don't have the ability to speak how you need to speak and how you should speak, because what's in your mind, can't nobody take that from you, man. So January check-in, man, when it gets down to 2 weeks into the year, those goals that you had, that plan that you had, you might have needed to adapt by now. You might have had switch some things around. You may not have been as consistent as you thought you would, whatever the case may be. Like Flash said, man, you may be at a point where, you hitting that consolidation where you a little lower than you expected to be at as far as mentally. And that's where we gonna be talking about that, because personally, that's where we are now. For the first time, just to be transparent, today was a day where I wasn't in the same mode I always was to get on Wealth Wednesdays, right? But despite that, we still on here giving you guys this game. And before we started, I wasn't feeling it, but when we started, I've been in the zone, So this helped me feel a little bit better, right? So I got a couple questions for us. Just 3 questions that we're gonna tackle, that we want you guys to tackle as well, right? From the honors of ChatGPT. Shout out to ChatGPT. First question to you, my boy. What's one thing that felt easier when you were motivated, but feels harder now that consistency is required, right?
Let me think about that.
I feel you. I need to think about that as well.
I think wise man once told me, man, he said that everything you do outside of the business reflects how you do the business, right? And so one thing that I've kind of since I noticed at the beginning of this year, I haven't been on time. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, I haven't been on time. Usually ultimately I'm a punctual person. I'm always there when I need to be there, right? It don't, you know what I'm saying? Time is kind of been not with me for some reason. I ain't been really I haven't really been on time, like, to even showing up to work. I for the first 2 weeks of this year, I've kind of been like a minute or two late. You know what I'm saying? Doing things that I need to do within the job, a minute or two late. Taking my son and putting him on the bus. We've missed the bus 3 times this year. And, like, you know,
shout out to Flash keeping it real,
man.
Come
on, bro.
Keeping it real. This we just trying to keep it real for y'all, man.
On top of keeping it real, bro, it's the thing that you have to notice too, because you have to be honest with yourself. I wouldn't sit here. I could sit here and lie about some shit all day, right? But it wouldn't make me feel better. It just look like some other shit, and that's not the case. I'm being completely honest. Like, we done missed the bus a couple times, and it's definitely my fault, right? Because my son isn't gonna walk himself to the bus, you know. And so with that being said, like, there's a lot of things that I have been late to, and I don't even want to use late. That's that I haven't been on time to, because I'm not ever late. But I wasn't on the time that I had in my mind. My mental clock is always on to a T, right? It's always on 10. But lately it's been on like 7, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know what's been going on.
And that's, you know, like you said,
you're right about that in the journal.
Being real with yourself, and the fact that you even observed that is what's so cold about that. Because, you know, what you guys are seeing is somebody who's so in tune with themselves to the point where they know when they're off the lane,
the game, you know what I'm saying?
Off their game a little bit, man. Appreciate you. And that's important, man, because the thing about this self-improvement, about this full circle when it comes down to building wealth, building yourself, building it all above, you got to be able to be real with yourself, man. You got to be able to look in the mirror the same way you say, I've been real with myself, to be on top of my stuff, to be on time, to be on everything I need to be. You got to be willing to be, hey, I could do this part a little better, right? And, you know, to answer the question for me, you know, something that felt much easier when I was motivated, but harder now that consistency is required, and I hit that moment of just feeling not as motivated, is preparing for both Wednesdays, actually. You know,
yes.
That's the thing for me. You know, just hitting the last couple days. You know, I've had this routine where, you know, both Wednesdays has been getting planned for me a couple days before. You know, him and I actually, you know, are able to tap in throughout the week and talk about what we're going to talk about, and go through certain videos and skits and all the above, you know. And this week, I personally just was not feeling it. I let the external factors get to me, from, you know, the 9 to 5, you know, working, you know, a little longer than I expected, working a shift that I didn't really want to work. And then just letting that excuse of being tired get to me, and just feeling like I just needed a moment, right? Which I did need that moment, but I still could have been better at being on top of the game when it comes down to preparing and discussing and looking over certain things like usual, right? So, and this was the first week that happened, and it's important that, you know, that we're able to reflect, because now, you know, even sitting here, before we started, we was talking about how we feel, right? But now that we have these questions, we're able to discuss how we feel and get to the root of how we feel. And now, all this is making sense. I feel like I don't feel good because I didn't do the things that usually make me feel good. And that's that, right? So, anything else before the second question?
Man, ultimately, that's just full circle wealth, man. And this is how we operate. You know what I'm saying? Even off the camera, right? This is an hour out of our day. This is what we live. This is who we are and live to be, I guess. I don't know. I have worded it weird. But this is us, man. You know what I'm saying? There ain't nobody. What time we at?
We're at 45 minutes.
See, perfect.
Yeah,
This is us, man. This is who we are on a daily basis. Like I said, we're on the camera for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
This is who we are. Let me get started. Let me ask you, man. When the version of you that was excited meets the version of you that's tired, doubtful, or distracted, which one have you been feeding lately? That's a great question.
That is a good question, but
There's multiple parts
I'm not
to it.
gonna lie. I'm gonna need you to like break this down.
I got you.
So when the version of you that was excited meets the version of you that's tired, doubtful, or distracted. This part, which one have you been feeding lately?
Yeah. I got you. When it comes to, you know that battle that you have when you wake up and you hear that alarm, and it's like, I know this alarm is gonna go off for 5 minutes, right? That is what it's asking. That battle between the two. Which one is more inclined to be like, damn, let me get up and turn this alarm off because it's loud in my ear. I can hear it, right?
Yeah.
But also, damn, body like, ooh, 6 hours, 5 hours, 4 hours of sleep. Should I sit here for the next couple minutes and let it just, you feel me? Which one have you been feeding lately? Let's just talk about the first 2 weeks of this year.
Yeah, the first 2 weeks. When it comes down to, okay, the version of you that's excited means the version of you that's tired or doubtful. When it gets to that point where I get tired or doubtful, lately I have been feeding. I'll say this. I've been feeding into the version of me that gets up and handles that business. I still have been feeding into that, but I've also been feeding into that mind where it's like, man, I am tired. You know what I'm saying? I am tired. I do probably want to lay up in here a few more minutes. I probably don't want to work this shift the way that, that I had to rearrange my whole schedule for. And it's been one of those things where I've been handling business, but still now realizing it, kind of pitying myself.
Yeah.
Kind of pitying myself, like you know what I'm saying? Like some like, for example, something that happened last night, man. I just had to go talk to the people about the key fob, right? The key fob in my building for the apartment because the apartment wasn't really moving. I couldn't get into the gym, right? Mm-hmm. So I needed my key fob to work. I had this plan last night. I'm about to go to the gym, knock it out, such and such, such and such. And I went, and the key fob wasn't working. So I didn't really complain. I didn't hit one of those moments where I was sobbing, I was mad. I just turned around, came back up in the crib, and just readjusted.
Yeah.
To say that I knew I wanted to go to the gym, I knew I was bothered by it. I didn't necessarily feed into the fact that I was bothered by it, but I also didn't feed into the fact that I wasn't bothered by it, or right. What did bother me about it, and how can I get to a place where I can look at this situation for what it truly is instead of just walking around like, damn, well, the gym didn't work. Got to wake up and talk to these guys tomorrow. It pissed me off, such and such, such and such. So, did I answer that question correctly?
Yeah.
So I've been feeding that version of myself lately, and I with saying that out loud, I need to get back to feeding that version of myself where it's like, yes, things can happen, but also feed that version of you that it's all right, bro. Right. Tell yourself it's all right, instead of just sitting there in silence. Last night, I just came back in. It was my girl, my boy who was here. I just didn't want to talk to nobody, I just wanted to go do my own thing, and I kind of shut down instead of attacking the situation, right? And there's times where, shutting down is not always the answer, Attack it, digest it, and that's that. Even I journaled about it, but I journaled about it and kind of let it like go through the motions. I didn't really like just rest my heart in it and be like, there's a benefit to what happened here somewhat, you know? So yeah. How about you though?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna be honest. I've been feeding both of them, low key. Specifically last night, bro. I had a later shift, and I had thought that I was gonna be there even later, right? So when I get home, not as late as I thought I would. I had already ate dinner and everything, and I've been real adamant about journaling. I've been hard about myself about journaling every day, and I get home and I didn't journal. And it was eating me up too, all last night too. And just to answer this question, both of them, because I know that I'm supposed to be journaling, right? And I know that this is what I want to do, especially to get better. You know what I'm saying? And be better. Full circle moment. Like, I know that I want to do this, right? But that tired, that feeling, that lazy kind of, I don't like using that word as often as I used to, but that stagnant movement in my brain. You know what I'm saying? I was like, it wasn't I can do it tomorrow. It was, I'm just not doing it right now. And that shit ate me up, bro. Because like I said, I wanted to be, journaling is one of the ways that I feel will make me better, right? Now I'm knowing that I need a journal and didn't. You know, like, because just like I said, applying that knowledge to the same thing, I cannot be like, I want to pay the rent.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to go get grocery or trash bags for the garbage and it's piling up on the counter. You know, like I can't. You can't live like that, right? So especially when it comes to those little things, how your personal life reflects the business life 100%. It's fucking up the business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know that I'm supposed to be journaling, right? So both of them, man.
I relate to that, man. It was Monday. It was Monday that I had a long day at the job, you know what I'm saying, dealing with some nitpicky stuff from nitpicky people, you know, had to apply the let them theory. Long story short, I get home and I know that one of the things that's gonna help me is journaling. But I put it off, right? I put it off and I told myself, all right, I'm gonna do it. But then when I said I was gonna do it, somehow I ended up preparing to take a shower. Long story short, before I get in the shower, you know, one of my best friends, his dad was on the phone, and I was just like, he was calling to check in on us, and I was telling him how I felt, and he was like, journal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ah.
Journal.
So as soon as he said that, I picked up my journal because I'm like, man, I was supposed to do that before I even got in the shower, right? And so I definitely feel you on that, you know, because it's been 2 days now where I have missed out on journaling the way that I wanted to within the first 2 weeks. And those 2 days, I went to sleep definitely feeling different than the other.
Yeah, for sure.
12. So I feel you, man. So with this last question, you got anything before I get on the last question?
Nah, that was it. Same. It's been 2 days out of the 14 that I ain't journal.
Come on,
and
man.
One of them was yesterday, and that shit ate me up, gang.
Bro,
it still is. I still ain't got in that journal.
For real, you know, it was I think January 11th. You know, it was one of them days where I missed.
Day. That's what I'm talking about. See, but hold on, I didn't even mean to cut you off, but this is the importance of knowing yourself, because we can sit here and be human. Not only that, but really understanding that it's not necessarily a fault or like a loss, right? It's something to grow from. We both know that we need to hop in that journal, and this is why Full Circle is so important for not only our lives, but also for yours, man. Hit that like button, join, subscribe, join the Discord, man. Come get tapped in with us fully, because this is what we do. I'm trying to tell you, this hour is just an hour of our day. This week we have a whole another 23 to live, right? I don't want you guys to be confused on the fact that you see glamour and us knowing the charts, and you know what I'm saying, we're still human at the end of the day, going through human shit just like you, right? So if you want to be human and have a space to be human, right, and as well as a growing community, join us, man.
Yeah, click that link, man.
My fault though.
No, you're good. But going back, like, that's all I want to leave it on. You know, this journaling helps us understand ourselves at a way that, I mean, deeper than I have before, you know. I mean, we both always had a good sense of self. That good sense of self is what got us here. But you know, to get we can't keep doing the same things, you know. And that's even for us. If we would have kept doing what we was doing in 2025, going in 2026, saying, "Hey, bro, we got it. Let's just keep coasting." You guys wouldn't have been able to see the growth, you know. Right. And shout out to you guys running up the views in the last video. We see that. We see that. Go check out the last YouTube video, our last stream. The views just run up. But this last question for all of us, right? What is one non-negotiable habit that you're committing to keep this week, even if the results don't show up yet? One non-negotiable habit.
Right now, like I said, I've been waking up late, and so before I even came to the studio, man, I'm like, I gotta wake up every day at 5 o'clock, 5:30, 5 o'clock, because the 6:45s and the right at the 7s, it ain't doing me no justice. On top of that, I'm missing out on money, right? As well as time with the fam. Like, everybody has something to do every day. And so my son got school. But I'm going to begin with spending time with him in the morning before we have school. So his mindset is already fixed on, let me get this school out the way so I can come home and take care of business. My girl, you know what I'm saying? Spending time with my lady, making sure that she has time to be with me while I'm there. And then when I'm gone, handling business outside of the house. You know, we come back to that family time and all that gushy lovey stuff, right? So my non-negotiable is waking up at 5 o'clock, 5:30 every day.
Ooh wee.
This week.
Ooh wee.
I'm gonna put it in the journal too. So next week, I'm gonna show y'all. Woke up every day, 5 o'clock. And I'm gonna show you the times where maybe I did not. I'm not even putting that in the air, but hey, I'm gonna mark it out every day.
That's a great non-negotiable. And you know, mine, as you were talking, I had thought about it. I want my non-negotiable to be continuing to put that content in the Discord like I did this week. You know, I have like this thing where, you know, I may go hard for 1 week and then the next week I had intentions on going hard, but because I went hard the previous week, I may not do it the same way, you know? So I really want to continue to give you guys that content and continue to give you guys those charts that I'm looking at. So I'm gonna go through and look at the system that I, you know, have put in and how I did it this week, so I can make it a streamlined thing for you guys this week. Because, you know, like we both discussed, you know, we want to put that value in there for you guys, and I want to be consistent with it. I want to create a framework where, you know, I'm not giving you guys too much at one time that makes it seem like, oh, I don't got the energy to come back the next day or next 3 days, whatever case may be. I'm just gonna make sure that I'm in there every day. On top of, I want to read that book. I'm gonna make it a non-negotiable to listen to it every day. I missed like 2 days last week. The Let Them theory that I'm listening to. I got like 4 hours left, but that's my non-negotiable. I want to listen to that every day and then put some Discord content in there for you guys every day. So yeah, man. Optional closure that chat ended up providing for us. You want to read that for us?
Yes, that shit says the people who win the year aren't the most motivated. They're the ones who didn't quit when the feeling changed.
I like that, man.
I'm gonna read that one more time though for the niggas in the back too. The people who win the year aren't the most motivated. They're the ones who didn't quit when the feeling changed. And so there ain't no reason to break that down, actually. Yeah, that's pretty straightforward.
That's
you know what I'm saying? That kind of goes back to the, you know what I'm saying, being the youngest in the room. Like, that don't matter, right? Because we still in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And more often than not now, you know, with us being the youngest in the room, we got a lot to offer. You know, the young people nowadays is, I don't want to say we smarter than the elderly, but we're able to see things and understand things that they wasn't able to understand or aren't able to, right? You know, so, and walk into that. Don't be afraid of that, right?
Right.
You may not be able to be... You may be the only person in your family and the youngest in your family who understands stocks and crypto, and be okay with that, because that's who we are. So I got to deal with older folks, or had to. Now the credibility came through, but at first I hated going to the damn family functions because they asking me about how the things is going, and I'm still figuring it out. And they want me to go to school, get a job, all the whatever it is, and I'm like, I got this stock market thing that I'm on, you know, and I think y'all should invest into the stock market too. So saying that to say, now I'm at the point now where the family will listen. You know, I've been doing this for an amount of time now where the credibility is there. So it's like, I can sit there and call a family member out. You just told me such and such.
Yeah.
Why are we at here when you could be right here in the stock market, in this crypto market, really buying these assets, right? So, yeah, man, that's my non-negotiable. We wasn't talking about non-negotiables, but yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about when it comes down to being the youngest in the room, right? Youngest in charge, man. So with that being said, we gave you guys our non-negotiables. We answered these questions, and most importantly, we want you guys to focus on how we execute throughout the week, right? You're gonna see us posting that content in the Discord, right? You're gonna see me posting that content in the Discord. You know, I'm sure you'll see Flash at some point. He's gonna be talking about how he up at 5 a.m. in the Discord. He'll be posting some early content, right? So, long story short, man, we in here building alongside you guys and trying to inspire the people who want to build but don't know where to start. And if you don't know where to start, join the Full Circle Wealth community. You have access to me and him for now, because you guys know this ain't lasting too long at the rate we going at. You know, we gonna have too many people up in this live, up in the community to be able to cater to everybody, right? Because we trying to come with this value. We are coming with this value.
And it's your chance, just like you said. Get in there while the getting is getting, for real, because time comes, don't be asking, hey, can I get the... Nah, man, we was giving a lot of free game, trying to build that credibility, like you said, and so... Now that time is coming up to where we finna open that door up, man.
Yeah.
I'm trying to creep in the little crevice that we leave. You feel me? Nah, man. You gotta walk through that door with us.
Yep, and stay tuned. We got our Full Circle Wealth beginning investor system, right? Our product coming out for you guys that you guys will be able to buy in February, right? Stay tuned for that. For now, go into that Discord and get the free value. Go look at the stocks so you can chart the stocks and make your own money. Go look at the cryptos so you can buy the cryptos at a dip and make your own money. Understand these tokenomics. Understand these tokenizing. All of it. Close this out, man.
It's your boy Flash.
It's your boy Fisher Go Getter.
And this is the Full Circle Wealth, man. Like you just said, join the Discord, hit the like, subscribe button. Full Circle out, man.
Yeah, we'll see you next week, man.